shit like that. That sounds
Alpha
familiar.
Gummy. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
she almost sounds similar to him.
We up. We lit. We lit.
Dr. Real TV,
You know it.
Ansem. You go ahead and talk.
This list needs no introduction. A lot of people are already talking about it. Billboard put out a list. We gonna talk about it. We gonna get straight to business. We gonna go from 50 to 1 and just discuss. A lot of people have a lot of different things to say about this list. So coming in at 50, we have the Mash Out Posse. MOP. Lines at your chick. Play CeeLo. And spit 4 5s at your 6. It's not a lot of people with bars like that. So in this top 50 list, I'll tell you that much. So I'm disappointed off the rip. I'm mad right now already. I'm disappointed off the rip.
What's your favorite MOP album?
I don't even know the name of the damn joint.
Fire was Squad
right now.
Warriors is probably my favorite MOP album. That's the album that was on Loud Records that had Andy.
I know what cover looked like, but I don't know what the watch.
Stick to your guns before.
Yeah, that is it. That's the one you're talking about. Warriors, right? So yeah, I don't like this pick, but I don't like I said, I don't really know what they're going off of. Like I looked up the sales after we talked about it. I looked up the sales, so it aligns with the sales a little bit, but a couple of the top selling artists ain't in the top even 10. So, but they close. So it's like, okay, I know why they're there. And then, all right, so they kind of did it off album sales, but then like that segues me into 49. Real hip hop people really like this group. Like if you like lyrics, you like Black Star, right? You like Black Star? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. You said, do I like Black Star?
Did you like Black Star?
Of course.
Do you like this pick?
Me personally, it should be higher. Most people will only say they will be lower because of sales. That's why I don't even think this list is based on sales.
It is, though.
Number 41 should not be on this list if it's based on sales. I'm playing the background right now. Okay. Little Brother is actually better than a lot of groups on here, but I'm respecting why they're where they are because it's not because of sales. But number 49, if you're talking about like the first few albums up to the Ruckus era on that level, but shoot, if you want to talk about sales, of course, like I would replace these names. These names ain't got nothing to do with sales, bro.
I really don't. I'm just saying when I looked up all of the top people, it made a little more sense. The top 10 made a little more sense after I looked up the whole top 20 list made a little bit more sense after I looked up the sales.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll get to that later, but get back to number 49. You don't even think they should be on here?
I love Black Star as a group. That's a great group. That's a great group.
Okay,
that's like two great lyricists in a group. That's like a group of lyricists. Like you don't have too many people where both of them is just like great lyricists. Like we're nice and we rap together. It's one of the few groups on here that's like that, which we're gonna come to find out. They're one of the couple groups like that. They're both just nice.
Yeah, we definitely gonna disagree on this. I see it coming already. Let's get to number 48.
The City Girls just came out. They're not better than Camp Low. They're not better than TRU. They're not better than Cain and Abel. They're not better than, I'm just naming people that's just groups. What is your opinion of this? You acting like they should be number one or something. What are we doing with City Girls?
Let's talk about number 47 then, because I don't know where you getting that from, bro.
I'm asking you about your 48.
I got a list of groups that shouldn't be on here that's better than them. So we can skip that topic.
You got a list of groups that shouldn't be on here that's even better than the City Girls. So basically, you don't even want to talk about them. Okay, cool. So Ray Sherman. This is a talented group. Like, these kids are good. It's like a new wave of like the mumble singing. They're good at that. Like, what they do, they're good at. I like this group. I'm cool with where they're at. I mean, they're new, but they make good music. They're not whack. You like them?
I mean, it's that era not for me, but I can see why the newer generation like them. I mean, I don't see how they've top 50 neither, but
listen,
hey,
because they make good music. Like, you gotta pay attention to them. They make good music. They're not whack. No. Lyrical tip is like the vibe, like the
I'm not even talking
songs.
about the lyrical shit. It's like musically,
They make good music.
that's for the young niggas. So that's
right, but it's that era of music. Like, when you go to the club, is you all the way turned up. Like, yeah, I like them.
So let's get the number 46 Yin Yang Twins.
Yin Yang in this thing. Yin Yang in this thing. You know, they like that era of great music. They was in it, but they were, you know. What you got to say about this pick?
Do you feel that Ray Sherman is better than Yin Yang Twins? Let me tell you this.
No, I don't think they've had more stuff that I know. Like, what you mean? Like, Whistle While You Twerk is like a big hit. Like, you ain't got hits.
But they got better hits and better songs. And I'm not a fan of the style, but I'm in the South. They have better hits and better songs than Ray Sherman. City Girl. I wouldn't even put why is Yin Yang Twins over Black Star? That's what I'm saying. Black Star should be higher.
We know like, that, but it's like that's them. They're like an underground group. Damn near.
You understand the music, so you feel like it should be on there. Like, I'm in the South. Like, I can understand why Yin Yang Twins is on there. I'm not a fan of their music, but shoot, as far as like the impact and the music they made, songs like the Whisper song, what song from Ray Sherman you would put on the same level as that or better? I can't think of any song.
Just all the way turned up. Like, they had that same club type of vibe. All the way turned up. Like, they got that right there. That they got the club was all the way turned up with that.
So that's why I thought someone else did that song though. Who you talking about?
That's dumb.
Let me look that up real quick.
That's dumb, dog. They make a lot of good music, bro.
Finally, we got some real hip hop on here. Pete Rock and CL Smooth. We all know the music they made back in the day.
Black Star is too. What you mean? Premier Beats.
So Black Star, would you put that over? Would you put Black Star over Pete Rock and CL Smooth?
You know what? They have like a nostalgic vibe for hip hop heads. Like, people, it's like one of them groups that's been around for so long that like it's the core of hip hop. So, like, honestly, I ain't even really listened to them like that. But it's one of them groups that's like been around so long that they're classic.
Okay.
So, like, when you think of one of the best groups ever, they're in there because of longevity. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I fuck with P-Rock, but I ain't really was like a super duper fan.
Okay. Now, I can give you my opinion between P-Rock and CL Smooth and Black Star. Because if we're going to think of Black Star, we might also have to include Mos Def solo shit, Reflection Eternal, Tyler Quality's solo shit, combine it with the latest Black Star album that's on Bandcamp right now. All of that, to me, is that a better collection of music than Pete Rock and CL Smooth? And I'm kind of seeing a certain angle to where they're not necessarily just thinking of the group. They're also thinking about the person behind that group too, which is why I'm understanding why you're saying NWA. We'll get to that.
Hold on. Yeah.
But between those two, that's a better like comparison. Say which one is above or below each other than Yin Yang Twins, Ray Sherman, and City Girls, bro. Like I
Right.
said, I got a
But
list of
we at the bottom of the list, though. We at the bottom of the list. So,
yeah.
Crisscross.
That's my shit. I ain't gonna front. I can understand why they up here. It makes sense.
Yeah, they
live and die for hip hop.
They one of the best groups of all time. Now, 43. Now, I've got something to say about this pick right here.
I want to hear this too, because you're talking about Ray Sherman.
No. I'm talking about Kid and Play right now.
I know.
I would not be mad if this group right here was in the top 10. It's Kid and Play. Like, it goes beyond rap. Like, they made House Party. That's Kid and Play. Like, they're one of the greatest groups ever. Like, it's Kid and Play. Like, that's Kid and Play. That's class A. That's Blade Brown right there.
But look who's above that.
He was right there.
But look who's above that. Rest in peace.
I understand that, but I'm talking respectfully.
Better than Kid and Play.
Respectfully, did he make House Party? Like, we got to put the whole package in there with Kid and Play.
Number 42, Heavy D and the Boys. Exactly.
Okay. Heavy D and the Boys. Right.
And number 41 is who I'm playing in the background, Lil Brother.
RIP to Heavy D. Lil Brother. Okay. Take off. How do you feel about this pick? Because it's your boy. How do you feel about this pick?
And I'm happy. That's why I said this list might be better than the top 50 rapper list.
But listen, you said, okay, I got to look it up now. You said he sold. So he made the list if he sold.
Not necessarily, because Lil Brother had label.
I'm just saying.
Everyone knew him for the music because they were one of the most heavily downloaded rap groups at that time. Keep in mind what also came out around that same time. Get Rich or Die Trying. That album was heavily downloaded, but it also heavily sold. Other albums that were out around that time. Remember when niggas had the bootleg version of the Blueprint like 3 months before it came out? With the bonus track. Mm-hmm. That's how I basically found out about this first album, just like the internet era at that time. Whether you had Napster, Kazaa, any of those other programs, eventually Audio Galaxy. Fast forward to bootlegging CDs or buying CDs if you really like the album. The last album I bought consistently was in 2009. Since 2009, I only bought 3 albums.
Right, but a lot of people make these lists based off people who rock with them. You know what I'm saying? Little Brother's a good group.
A great group.
Right. I mean it like that. But
even without Knife Wonder, they were still putting out great music.
Mm-hmm. So
number 40, Onyx. I want to know
let the boys be boys. Slam. They got to be one of the greatest groups.
Okay.
If we're making a 50, they got to be in there.
Would you put Onyx over Lil Brother? Yeah.
Listen. Exactly. Yeah. Only from a star perspective. Like if I just made the same case for Kid and Play, I gotta make Fred Joe Star a star too. Like he's a star. You know what I'm saying? So
you're right. I can understand that. Number 39, one of my favorite groups of all time, even before and after Jay Dilla. Rest in peace, Jay Dilla, aka my favorite hip hop producer of all time, Slum Village. Also, shout out to T3, Young RJ. They still performing. They still making music. That Yes album was hard as fuck.
From a pure hip hop perspective, people probably feel like they should have been higher.
Let me ask you this question: how popular was Slum Village when you was hearing it from Lansing? Because I'm hearing it from Virginia and North Carolina, and I know it's not the same as you hearing it from where you from in Lansing.
Man, a lot of people wasn't even up. We was, but a lot of people wasn't even up on the real hip hop shit. They was listening to other shit.
Pretty much the same here. Okay, I get you.
So like, uh, people was being influenced by whatever was popping at the time. That like it was like a sponge of whatever, and that was before people could put their own music out. Like before, like even the sound here was able to be put for other people to hear. Like people was just sponging up everybody else. So you had to be one of the real hip hop people to like it. Luckily, I was around them and was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And everybody always respect him as a producer. But they were slept on, basically.
You're right. Just like Little Brother still slept on down here. Number 38. I need to pause this. Number 38. Big Timers.
The Big Timers. They had an era. The Big Timers had an era.
You want to know why Big Timers has the perfect balance? Because, and this is my opinion, you have arguably one of the worst rappers of all time combined with a classic producer that can happen to rap better than him and made him sound better like DJ Premier did the rappers back in the 90s. Because I'm sorry, bro, Baby's one of the worst rappers of all time, but
I'm saying though, but it's like we know he's whack. Like you don't even expect him to be good. Like he had a lane with his whackness. Like he was whack, but he stayed in a whack pocket. He didn't ever try to be sweet. Like it's worse when the whack people try to be nice. He was just always basic and whack, and it was cool. So like, like,
which makes sense. Why isn't TRU on here? I would replace Big Timers with TRU.
I okay. If you want my answer to that right now, I'll say because Master P had too many damn groups.
But and then so like, I would replace TRU with the Beatnuts, or anyone in Boot Camp Click, or the Dog Pound.
But listen,
or Nice and Smooth.
But listen,
do I need to keep going before we get to the rappers above that?
I'll respond to that at a later time. I remember what you just said, and I'll respond to that when we get to the next one, next list.
Okay, because I know you was asking about City Girls, but I didn't want to answer that question yet. Now it's that time, but go ahead.
Go for it, because we get to 8 Ball and MJG, who should be higher on my list. I mean, it's just personal for me. I love them, so no, I would put them higher. But
you're probably right; they should be higher because some of these groups in the 30s should be higher too. Because we're going to get to a certain part that you're talking about, but yeah. If you're going to say 8 Ball MJG should be higher, damn, Hieroglyphics is number 36. I don't know if I put 8 Ball MJG over Hieroglyphics, though. Including Souls of Mischief. Ooh. 93 Till Infinity. You have to count that song. Well, number 35 could be higher if all of the members stayed together, but because they didn't, that's why they're 35. Far Side.
People love them.
The first 2 albums, classic. The third album actually aged good. Every album after that, even some of the solo albums, it's like you all sound better all together. You know what I'm saying? Which to me, the Far Side is the opposite of the Migos, in my opinion. Because to me, the Migos sound better separately than they do together.
But yeah, honestly, I was never really that much of a fan. I liked it, but I just didn't listen to it. It was more of a like, I wasn't the West Coast shit. I didn't listen to at that time. Not all of it. So,
but they weren't even the average West Coast group, though. They were sort of like the Slum Village and the little brother of that type of style when it comes to California, which you could say Outkast is that version of Georgia, but we'll get to that later.
Right,
Yeah,
but I just never was like listen to their album. Like I never just had their album banging it. Like you know the classic shit. Keep on banging me by. Like, you know the classic shit. But
that
it's like
first
I never was
album
just
hit, bro. Don't
a
sleep on that
super
first
duper
album.
fan of it. I'm just saying I ain't say that bad about it. I just never had the album to bang and listen to it. You know,
And
if
I
I
actually
never
like
listened to it.
the
I never
second
listened to
album
it.
more. I actually like the second album, Lab Cat in California, more than the first one. But some people like the first one more because of the producer that produced that album. But number 34, Brand Nubian. Of
Brand
course,
Nubian.
pumps jump up to get beat down. Like,
They one of the best groups, you
you
know,
better love
especially
me
for
or
hip
leave
hop
me
heads.
alone.
Especially for hip hop heads. 2 Live Crew. They ushered in an era. They legendary.
But you skipped number 33, Goody
I
Mob.
did. Oh, I did. My bad. Goody Mob.
Yes, please don't do that, bro.
Why we do that?
You just
Where the
skipped
hell is
Goody
my
Mob.
pen at?
I feed it the fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and collard greens too big for my jeans. Yo, that shit, man. Even though like the second album. Yo, I'll be right back. You go to the next number real quick.
Hell, I need to find my pen. We about to take a brief intermission about.
Hey, no, we good. I'm back.
You could take off and talk about Boogie Down for a second. I'm about to be back in like 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Well, let's get to number 33 first. If you know Goody Mob, of course. Number 32, 2 Live Crew, who definitely got the respect that they reserve. They definitely play an influence in hip hop right now, the good and the bad. Because trust me, if it wasn't for 2 Live Crew, we probably wouldn't be talking about 38, 37, and 36, who should be replaced with a whole list of groups I got right here. 31, KRS-One's the guy. I mean, ain't nothing else to say in regards to that. BDP. I do need to do my research a little more when it comes to the Boogie Down production albums outside of Criminal Minded. But as far as the KRS-One solo albums, with the exception of 2 albums, bruh, actually 3 albums, bruh, this nigga is still rapping. His beat selection be nowadays, but that nigga be rapping. But at the same time, I think that's his own family that's making production for him. So I can't hate on that. I wish he picked better beats though, but no disrespect. Shout out to KRS-One. Shout out to Boogie Down Production. Rest in peace, Scott LaRock.
All right, I'm back.
30. Go ahead and scroll down.
Scott LaRock. Are you ready?
Yeah, we can go to number 30.
Yeah, because
And you got on the 10. There we go, number 30. Now we about to get to that hard shit.
The clip.
And I apologize for being biased because I'm right next to Virginia, and I used to live in Chesapeake. So, yeah.
You think they should be higher?
They find where they are. I'm good with them in the top 30.
You like that?
I'm good with them in the top 30.
Okay. So,
Lord willing, Hell Hath No Fury.
I ain't mad at the pick. So, yeah, I ain't mad at the pick. Let me light this all up.
Now, of course, if you're a real hip hop fan, you definitely think number 29 should be top 10. I would say top 20, but I'm happy they're in the top 30 regardless. Gangstar, GJ Premier, one of the best producers out right now. And by the way, I'm Eric Sermon, and he DJ Premier in a YouTube battle we did on BLG, aka Bootleg Gang YouTube. But yeah,
I'm sitting here looking at this list, and I'm realizing how tight the top 30 really got. Like when they got for the top, like right here, I'm just now realizing like how tight it got for people. Like, yo, like, no, like you got to make it.
So let me ask you this question, Dub. Let's go back to number 30. Do you feel Clips should be on here? And if not, who would you replace Clips with? Let's say a group that's not in those last 20 that you feel like Matter of fact, name a rap group that's not on this list that you feel like should be here over Clips at 30.
Didn't you say you had a whole list? All right. I didn't even really think of this. I ain't think of no groups that wasn't on the list that should have been. Only thing I was thinking about was when you was talking about Master P, and I'm like, yo, he got a lot of groups that people like.
So let's talk about this real quick before we compare it to Clips and any other groups I didn't say. The Beat Nuts, the Dog Pound, Boot Camp Click. By the way, Boot Camp Click consists of Black Moon, Helter Skelter, and Smith & Wesson, the Alcoholics, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. And yes, I'm saying Lil Jon and the East Side Boys for the fact that City Girls is on here.
All right, you said it. I ain't say nothing.
Ultramagnetic MCs, True. And we'll stop right there. Now, I'll name some groups that shouldn't be on here that's better than City Girls. D12.
I wouldn't even be mad at D12 being on the list.
Timberland and Magoo. Slaughterhouse.
They should have been on here, but they ain't really never do nothing in terms of like, you know what I mean when I say that.
Shout out to 750. There's actually niggas there that think Slaughterhouse is better than Wu-Tang. I always find that hilarious, bro. So based on all the groups we just said, would you put any of those groups over Clips, in your opinion?
No, maybe True. Yeah, I would put TRU in there right there. If I had to replace the Crips out of those groups that you read, yeah, I'll put TRU in there. If you giving me that choice, yep.
So you're putting True over any of those groups from Boot Camp Click?
Yeah.
The Beat Nuts?
Yeah.
Dog Pound?
Yeah.
Nice and Smooth? No.
Dude, it's Master P. Like, do you know, like that era?
But yeah,
like, he was down there. Like
here.
That era was a whole era. Like he took over rap.
Of course, you're right. That's why I said that they should be over Big Timers. Where Big Timers is where True should be. But I'm not putting True over those four groups I just said.
Okay.
The Beat Nuts, the Dog Pound, any group under Boot Camp Click, with the exception of OGC, because they only had one dope album, and Nice and Smooth. I'm tempted to not say the Alcoholics. I would like to add them, but I'm holding them back. I'm also holding back Lil Jon and the East Side Boys just for the fact that City Girls is on it.
But listen, it's two different ways to look at that. If we talking like from like a hip hop and skill music perspective, okay, all the groups you're saying, yeah, Beat Nuts, Alcoholics, cool. But if we're talking like just what people liked and listened to, TRU is over all of them people, and a lot of people are mad that they're not on this list.
I understand that, but at number 30 or higher than the names I mentioned, no,
that's where you made me put them there. You specifically said if you had to put them anywhere, okay. You could have said that. Why didn't you do this at this? I gave you the floor at 48
because I'm making a point that you could arguably make a point that this list is more trash than the rapper list, but to me the rapper list is still worse. It's just that this is a little funnier. But I can respect you saying True there, but yeah, Clips is way better than True, bro.
Number 29, yeah, they're better than them as rappers, and but they not. They
grinding is better than With No Limit Soldiers. I Thought I Told You.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but it is. But also, that listen. It is better, but it's also that created a lingo. Like a lot of people say, I'm about it. Like the people still say it.
You're right.
So, like, what are we really talking about with Master P? Like TRU is different. Like it's different. It's a little different. They ushered in an era. Like it was a whole thing.
Clips is more different to me, but yeah, we'll carry on with that. But I respect you saying True, even though I would put True where Big Timers is. But we'll keep it moving. 29,
Okay.
Gangstar, of course. 28, the Ghetto Boys. Should they be higher?
Then
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Should the Ghetto Boys be above DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince? Yes.
Musically, they put out better stuff and more stuff, and people listen to it. Yeah. But that's also one of them. They got in there off like how many people above here got a Grammy. Like now we got to start pulling rank. Like now we got to start checking resumes. Like what you got on your resume. Like I got a Grammy, do you? So and it's Will. Like we ain't gonna go. I'm not even what I did with Fred Star and Kid and Play. I'm not gonna do that with Will because he would have to be number one. So we ain't gonna do that. I'm not even gonna do that with him. But I kind of could.
I can't say no what you said the rest of that, but yeah.
Listen, I could do it off the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Just that alone, like nothing else, none of the movies, none of that. Jazz is jazz. Like when you think of like you think of jazz, like that's a thing. So those two are like epic. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of can do it, but I ain't gonna go all the way in with it. But it's a little bit of that same star factor there. To where they could be, I ain't gonna say they could be higher, but if they were, you would not be able to argue it because they'd be like, and then I'm Will fucking Smith. And I got a Grammy. Like we could argue for it if we had to. If they were in the top 15, we could argue for it. I'd be their lawyer. But what's up with EPMD? Above the Hot Boys, under the Hot Boys. You like that?
Well, I like how you broke down Will, but still EPMD is better than them. Now EPMD over the Hot Boys,
hip hop shit, sure.
That's debatable. If I'm being unbiased, it's debatable. Like I'm going to say EPMD by default, but I can't hit on the Hot Boys at the same time.
I'm gonna put them over them. I got it. I'm gonna say it's cool. I'm cool with it. That's how I got it. I'm cool with it. I'm not mad at it like that. Where's my water?
Now, we'll tell you this. I like Cameron, but I don't care for the Diplomats as a group. However, the Diplomats should be higher.
Huh? No, they shouldn't. That's how I feel about it. And I don't care for the they're all right where they're at. They could have been lower and I'd have been cool with it.
Let me ask you this question real quick before we go any further. If you can glance at this picture right now, which one looks better, 11 to 20 or 21 to 30?
21 to 30. And
that's why I was hoping you would say that. Okay, cool.
Because that's it does. Because of it.
Put your name I can break it down. The top are gonna fall. That's how I'm looking at it. Sugar Hill Gang I'm sorry. Forgive me. Sugar Hill Gang at number 23.
They get a nostalgic push. They got one song. They could have been in the 50 just for that shit. And they don't have no music. This is though they're the first people to rap and all of that. Okay, cool. No disrespect to it. Thanks for ushering in the era that we left. But y'all ain't make no hits and shit. They're just one of the greatest groups of all time because they're one of the first rap groups. So we respect it, but they should have been lower. I respect them being there.
Certain staples you just can't move, just like Biggie.
I'm not mad at them, but shit, certain staples you can move to 50.
And certain things that aren't stable, you just take out, like City Girls. So,
okay, well,
the Diplomats, we'll keep the Diplomats there. We'll keep Sugar Hill Gang just off of what you just said, even though most of us probably don't have them higher. Number 22 at the Locks. Now,
this is when it starts to get egregious.
Me personally, At first, I thought they would be higher until I thought of more groups in the top. I gotta like think of 11 to 20 before I can say the Locks should be higher or not.
This is when it starts to get egregious. The Locks is one of the greatest groups of all times, but on a hip hop tip, they're damn near like an underground group. It seemed like, even though they're mainstream, they should be higher. But I almost understand why they're not.
And that's what I'm thinking.
Only a couple people above them that makes me question why they're there, though. So they're better than Mobb Deep.
No, they're not.
All right.
Yes, okay, they are. We'll get to that number later. Number 21. Oh. With that said, should the Locks be higher than Bone?
Listen.
I'm going to
Bone should be higher than Bone. No. Let me talk. Bone should be higher than Bone. It doesn't matter should the Locks be higher than Bone. Bone should be higher than Bone. So let's move them both up. 21 and 22 should be replaced with 11 and 12.
With that being said, let's go to number 20. Are Bone and the Locks better than UGK?
Listen.
Let's start moving up. Are the Bone and the Locks better than UGK?
It depends on where you're asking. You're asking someone from the Mid-East, the region of the world. Like they took over. Like, yes, it's Bone. Like a lot of people love Bone. People still love Bone. It's fucking Bone. Like what? It's Bone Thugs and Harmony. They're one of the greatest groups ever. Like ever. So from like a music tip, they yes. Like they have like a style. UGK is UGK, yeah. RP to Pimp C. They got classic music. It's Underground Kings. Love them. Okay. But it's Bone. Like they got their own style. It's a whole different thing. Like they ushered in their whole own style. Like nobody else in these whole lists raps like them. It's Bone. And people love them.
Okay, because Bone,
And I'm just speaking for. I'm not even necessarily that big of a Bone fan. I'm speaking for the public.
Over UGK, I can't see that. But if you say number 19, number 19 is G Unit. Bone or now the Locks are better than G Unit.
Here's the thing about G Unit. G Unit had an era.
Yeah.
50 went diamond. Off of G Unit.
Use that as a reason. 19, we'll keep them at 19. Okay.
He did it off of G Unit. Like the mixtapes, like they so like that makes sense for them to be in the top 20. It starts to get tight from here. Like here on up, it's getting crazy for people.
But the way you talk about number 21 is probably exactly how I see number 18. To me, 18 should be at least where 11 is right now.
Okay, and that is a Southern bias that I will allow you to have. And it's cool, and because we like them up here too. So it makes sense. But
they're the most copied group since 2000, bro. 3-6.
Okay. I said I respect it. I ain't said nothing bad about it.
More copied than Bone.
I know that because Bone has their own style. You ain't copying it. Well.
Exactly. Some people have copied.
Stop. Hold on.
Not more than 3-6.
Hold on. Aha. Because Busy or Lazy or one of them came out and did a whole live like, yo, the stuff that y'all doing right now was what we do. He called out Future and them like, yo, you got this from me. That's what he said. I'm not agreeing with him. I mean, we can pull up and watch it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
And
My
you
man from
know,
Bone called out Future and them and all the mumble rappers. Huh?
It ain't just Bone though. I know what you're talking about, but I'm talking about who's the most happy group right now since 2000. Not even the best.
Talking about everybody that gets on a song and sings some shit.
The way,
like, what if we saying everybody that does that got it from Bone? What if we're doing that?
But the way they're doing it is more Lord Infamous though.
Okay, now you just moving the goalposts and trying to put your own sauce on it.
Like he's 3-6.
Okay.
Like Old Dirty, part of Wu-Tang. A lot of people, not necessarily musically, but conceptually, copy his style, which is why Wu-Tang is on here. But that's another story because we pushing up.
Yeah. What about Cypress Hill? So obviously you believe that
Cypress Hill, 3-6 Mafia to me. Dang.
Hold on, let me look.
Some people would say Cypress Hill is higher, but I got 3-6 higher than Cypress Hill. But like niggas from SBA will probably say Cypress Hill is higher land. You bugging. But 3-6, bro, to me should be above them. Probably how you probably see Bone. So like, yeah.
I was speaking for the masses, bro. I seen a lot of people saying that.
I'm not even speaking, but I'm speaking like a collective of things. You're focusing on like certain things. I'm looking at the whole collective as well, dude.
No, we all is, but I'm talking about for that specific pick. I said that because a lot of people were saying that. Like I seen a lot of people saying that.
Cypress Hill.
So that's why I went in about that. No, Bone.
Oh, Bone.
I wasn't even always the biggest Bone fan. I never really was. I'm not saying they was whacking them, but I was never always just a super duper fan.
No, but I could understand why people would say Bone would be higher too. Just my opinion, not above 3-6. But if you want to look at them over 3-6, then hey, I gotta see it. And I lived up north and up and down south too. Okay, number 17. Damn. Because as much as I want to put 3-6 Mafia over Cypress Hill, my niggas would be like, Lance, you're bugging. Cypress Hill is better. Number 16, Beastie Boys.
They sold a lot of records.
The legends that they are. They pretty much you know what? That's why City Girls is on here. Because there's only 2 female rap groups on here. Ain't this the only white boy group on here? Beastie Boys, if I'm not mistaken.
Listen. I said that the top 20, the whole top 20 was all inclusive. It was an all inclusive list. We can get into that, but that's what I said about it. And that they were part of why. Because them and but Cypress Hill too. Like they got different nationalities represented in 16 and 17. You know what I'm saying? And then
But niggas still fucked with it though.
Right. I ain't saying it like that. I'm just saying it is what it is.
Sabotage is that shit, bro. Ain't a lot of rap songs better than Sabotage.
They sold a lot of records, but so Naughty by Nature. Classic, right? Should they be that high, you think?
Because they had a high point, but they also had a low point.
They also had a no point.
You said they also had a no point?
Right.
But for when they came out, I mean...
Oh, they was fire, you know.
Naughty by Nature... Naughty by Nature is better than Beastie Boys, but at the same time, I still put 3-6 Mafia over Naughty by Nature. But I wouldn't put Bone over Naughty by Nature. Locks, yeah. You're right. Locks should be higher. That's why I wanted to save Locks forever. You're right. Locks should be higher. Number 14 is Fugees. A lot of people might hate on this pick, but it makes sense. Fugees make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody loved that. Everybody loved them, and they're really like the only group like them on here. You know what I'm saying? And everybody just love them. I ain't mad at them. If they would have been lower, people probably would have been like they should have been higher. But it seemed like they sold and everything. Like they had Billboard hits. Like that, ooh la la la. Yeah. Fuji's cool. Why is Mobb Deep this high? I don't care.
Because number 13 probably has the best 3-album streak out of all names that are from 13 down so far.
My Lord.
The infamous Hell on Earth murder music.
I love
Hell on Earth. Solo rap albums. I'm talking about albums.
No, I know what you're saying. I heard what you said.
Because the success of Fugees, Mobb Deep is above that when it comes to that. That's the category where you got like the 3. You got that 3-album run. That fire ass 3-album run. No matter what people think you were before, after that fire ass 3-album run, like made you legendary somehow. And either that shit became inspired or copied. Like,
I can't even be mad at that. I can't even be mad at that, man, because they really did have one. So I can't even be mad at that. You're right about that. Like, so if that's your criteria, then it makes sense. I can't argue it. They did have it. So you had it.
I know some young niggas don't like number 12, but I'm happy number 12 is on here.
Man. Man.
Let's go. Number 11. That's all I can do with number 11.
Okay. Now, so I'll represent for the South.
Ironically,
love the Migos. Niggas love the Migos. And once again, they ushered in a style. They're the most copied group since 2000. It's the Migos.
How when they copied 3-6 and allegedly Bone.
Allegedly Bone. That's what Lazy said. That's what Crazy said. Whatever his name is, we can look it up and watch it. But that's why they're there. They sold a lot in the no album sale. Like they streamed a lot. They the first stream. Well, City Girls. They made it off streams. That's the first stream group that was on there. But you know, them streams make sense. But the Migos is the first. I said the City Girls made it. They were the first stream group that made it onto this list.
Okay.
They didn't really sell no records. They streamed them there.
The stream. Okay.
Right. So Migo is the first big stream group in this list. Like we don't even know what, but it's there. So you can't argue it.
Damn, streaming over a 3-album run versus a song that created hip hop. And the streaming era is higher than where they got these styles from. That's crazy, bro.
But you got to look at it like no.
Era is doomed, bro.
No, it ain't just that. It's not just that. You can't just simplify it like that. You got to look at it like a lot of the reason why UGK is over Bone and the Locks is because they have all their members. And a lot of the reason why Heavy D was over, who did we have him right over? Was it Respectfully? We going back. It's like because he's no longer with us. So
but keep in mind, Dub, every name you said up to Heavy D which I would say Heavy D too, but some people won't, are better than Migos.
Well, no.
Yes.
Because a lot of people liked them as rappers too. Y'all understand? A lot of people like them as rappers. I can't vouch for them of why, but they do.
So
a lot
to
of people
you,
like them as rappers.
11 makes sense.
Yes.
Wow.
I just told you. You want to know the streams?
No, you said it yourself. The streaming era is above like what we talked about 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. We're putting the streaming era over all of that. As to why Migos is number 11? That's crazy.
No, we're also putting the fact that people like them. Like just a lot of people like them.
Numbers.
Like they got a lot of fans. Like you don't get it?
Other rappers.
Like all of the people who look like them like them.
Look like Migos or look like Wayne?
I've already told you. I blame Dwayne Michael Carter for the whack rap era. He ushered it in. These are all his children. So you can say look like Wayne, you can say look like whoever. But what I'm saying,
what you just said, he inspired the whack rapper era, but he's not the whack rapper.
I never said he was. He inspired it. He inspired it. They're all trying to do something they can't do.
But there's some people inspired by him visually, and probably lyrically, that's making dope music. So I won't necessarily blame Wayne for that. Like
I'm blaming them.
Trash. I blame
the drug era, the get in the booth and rap off drug era of mumbling is from Wayne, but he just happened to be a goddamn genius.
And Gucci.
He just happened to be a musical genius. He's good. He can do it. But the people behind him trying to do it, whack rappers. So I blame him. I did a whole post about that. It's his fault. I already blamed him. It's his fault. He has to hold the L for it. He absolutely has to. It's no choice. So now we get into the top 10 groups of all times. And listen.
Let's go.
I want to say that this 10 pick is recency bias.
Why?
Because Black Thought is regarded higher now than he was when the Roots were dropping music. I love the Roots. Absolutely love the Roots. No problem with whatever. But I'm saying,
and that's fine.
Him
the fact that
making
still made incredible music. He just has way better lyrically now. So what you said makes it more of a reason why the Roots should be on here.
No. It gives them a recency bias push. Sorta. It gives them a recency bias push. I'm trying to tell you.
It makes sense. The Roots as a rap group, not just a rapper, the rap group makes sense.
I said I like the Roots. I never am arguing against the Roots. But what I'm saying is they made this top 10 off how people feel about Black Thought now. Like when you can't control the human brain. Like when people look at the Roots, they thinking about the freestyle from Hot 96. You can't tell me that they're not. They're not supposed to do it that way, but they're doing it.
But that don't defeat the fact that what the Roots made was fucking classic.
But their resume can't fit the top 10.
Can't say that. Like the Roots make sense. Like what you said makes it more of a reason. Ain't no recency stuff. It just makes sense.
Their resume doesn't get them into the top 10.
Yes, it do.
Okay.
As a hip hop group of that kind, you're talking about originality. Name another group that's like the Roots. Any group that's like the Roots.
So please. I can take 2 members, and then I'll give you. Okay, I can get it. We have one of people regard as one of the greatest lyricists, best lyricists, and we have a drummer, like a great drummer. So I get it. Nobody else really stands out of that group, but those 2, it makes sense why they're a classic group. I never said anything wrong about them as a group. I'm saying that they got a recency bias pick. I'm not.
But you also said
their resume doesn't fit them being there.
Worthy. Yes, it does.
It don't. I'll look it up. No, they don't.
You're bugging. Philadelphia Half-Life.
That's
things fall apart. Philadelphia Half-Life. Time to make young niggas mad. Philadelphia Half-Life is better than any album that came after 2000. Please name me an album better than Philadelphia Half-Life, and I'll cash app you. Please don't say The Pimp a Butterfly, even though it's dope. Please don't say Bandana. I wouldn't even say Magic is better than Philadelphia Half-Life.
You are.
And you know how much I love Nas.
Bias.
You're bugging. Number 9. De La Soul. Rest in peace, Dave.
Okay. I had to look at their chart history to see what I knew already. So they had a nice little run with those 2 songs. So
what 2 songs?
What they do. And you got me. You know that's their biggest 2 hits. But I wanted to see how long they was on the charts for. But how many weeks they were there.
What came out before what you just said? You said what they do.
I'm talking about that's their biggest hits. Like that's what put them on the map for Billboard to recognize them. Like when you go to that, like your resume got to measure up.
And people also go to your past music as well. All of their music has been stretched out very well at a time period where music was heard for a long period of time due to access. Before the Roots, as a hip hop group, this makes sense. If you want to talk about their success, but the fact that they're a hip hop group and the music that they made behind that, and that there's a rapper still consistent right now, but you're making it seem like Black Thought is the reason why they're number 10. No.
I'm saying they got a recency bias pick.
Not the main reason.
I'm saying they got a recency bias pick. That's okay. They should have been lower. I'm just saying, like, okay.
That's crazy if you think the Roots is not number 10. Wow. Number 9, De La Soul. Rest in peace, Dave. Number 8.
I already discussed how I felt about 9. I think the same thing is going on that went on with UGK and with MD. You just get a pickup. You just get a couple little levels up when somebody passed, and you got to respect it. But De La Soul is a great group. They're one of the greatest groups. So I'm not mad at it. But also, if someone else would have been in there ahead of them in the top 10.
So let me ask you this question. The Lox or De La Soul?
The Lox.
I would say De La Soul, but I can
understand. De La Soul it's a little more I don't know how to say it. I'm more of a fan of the Lox, but not really. I am, but I like De La Soul, but I've just listened to the Lox more.
No, the Lox always been dope. It's just that, the label issues, just like Lil Brother always had the label issues, but the music they put behind it and the influence off of that is what makes them on here. You know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy how you said that True is over the Beat Nuts, the Dog Pound, Boot Camp Click, and Nice and Smooth. That's crazy.
All of them. There's so many people that would agree.
I like number 8. Even if you don't agree with number 8, I like number 8. Because to me, Pepper as a female group makes sense on here. Not single.
Yeah. But they had to put them there.
but I'm happy Salt and Pepper's number 8. I actually like Salt and Pepper in the top 10 more than Nicki in the top 10, if you want to be honest.
But they had to they sold records too. It ain't like they just there for no reason. Like they was on the charts.
Yeah, but I bet you a lot of your TikTok nation is gonna say that Nicki on the top 10 rapper of all time list makes more sense than Salt and Pepper. To me, Salt and Pepper makes more sense than Nicki in the top 20 and City Girls even being on the list because we never Lil Kim was number 30 something, if I'm not mistaken.
Not if we're talking about Billboard. Not if we're talking about Billboard.
Lil Brother is on the Billboard.
Not more than Nicki.
But you're talking like Lil Brother is really on the Billboard like that. They're more recognized for their music.
No. I'm saying they it's a factor. Your music, how long your music was on the charts is a factor in how you're on this list. It's not everything, but it's a factor. But so what I'm saying is when you go to the but listen,
groups that have better factors than there.
I know, but listen. You're conflating two arguments now because you said Nicki, so I was talking about her specifically.
Yeah, Nicki is a top 10 rapper of all time. Makes more sense
than Salt and Pepper. Yes,
top 10. Wow. Okay.
But I'm not agreeing with her being there. But I'm saying for Billboard to put her there, it makes perfect sense because we can go to her chart history and it's gonna be like, okay. Nobody's done. It's not 9 people that's done this.
Even though
they're cooking the books now and it's the stream era, I get it, but it's there. It's like Drake. He's on it too, ain't he?
High streams. Now think about it.
Was he on there too? Huh?
Do the Roots have high streaming?
They should. I bet you they would now. But listen.
See, I bootleg, so I don't know.
Drake, I don't even know about that list, but I bet you Drake's in there too.
I mean, obviously it's Drake.
No, not obviously it's Drake. Obviously he be on the Billboard charts.
That's why I said obviously it's Drake. Drake got a cheat code.
Obviously it's Nicki, and so does she. She got the barb. What does she got a cheat code? Have you lost your mind? What? She's Nicki effing Minaj. Like she pops out and just makes hits, and they love it. I'm not saying we do; they do. Every time she step out, it's something.
So, do you feel Migos got a cheat code?
Yes, absolutely. Get on the track and do what they do, and people love it. It's mumble rap. That's a cheat code. Snoop Dogg said it. Everybody get on the beat. It sounds like it's the same flow pattern.
Not a cheat code.
Yo. Quavo and them have cheat codes, nigga.
Salt and Pepper is not a cheat code.
No, they were era. They were Salt and Pepper. It was a girl group. They had to be on there. It's not too many girl groups. It's not too many successful great girl groups to even put on these lists. Kind of why City Girls had to make it. Salt and Pepper, it makes sense. I didn't argue about this pick. I said I never argued them being there.
But you said that Nicki made sense.
From Billboard.
Nicki got a cheat code, but Salt and Pepper don't have a cheat code. Wouldn't that make Salt and Pepper make more sense on there than Nicki?
No. This is how because listen, they came from a whole different era, so it's nostalgia, and they're a girl group. So it's a girl group from back in the day that has classic songs that you like, and it's Salt and Pepper. So it makes sense that they're there.
So now we have another girl group at 48 that has 48 or 49. Yeah, 48.
That's recency bias.
48 that has none of that.
But that's recency bias and the stream world.
But why are you saying that is the same thing as what Black Thought is to the Roots? I wouldn't necessarily say that though. Like I see.
Because they are listen.
No, don't worry about it. I get what you're getting. I get what you're saying. We good.
Because they're a group that people from us, obviously, but people from this era that like hip hop might not have necessarily been up on them as much if he wouldn't have put the splash out that he put up. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't think they've been on the top 10 if he didn't put that freestyle out. That's all I'm saying.
What?
And I just don't.
Wow. So you think the freestyles why they're in the top 10?
Yes.
Yes.
That's how it's been simplified. Yeah.
Next topic. You're bugging.
I never said they weren't a great group though. We acknowledge that, but I'm just saying.
You're saying the freestyles why they're in the top 10. Don't do that.
I said that from jump. I've been saying that. I said they got recency bias. Like it's recency bias.
Like, yeah.
It's recency bias. That's what it is. Like it is. That's what I think it is.
Number 7, the God. Ain't nothing else to say about that.
It makes sense for them to be in the top 10. You know, it makes sense. Public Enemy. It makes sense.
Flavor Flav.
It makes sense. They won the greatest group of all time. It would have made sense for them to flip it. It would have made sense for them to flip it, and Eric B and Rakim to be over them, and it makes sense to where it's at. So it makes sense. Run DMC.
Now we get into the teachers.
Run DMC at 5.
Real teachers, yes. Regardless of who you feel is above these teachers, you just have to accept them where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if you're better than them or not, all that is irrelevant. You just got to accept where they are because without them, you wouldn't be here. Like, I wouldn't be here. Like,
it's Run DMC.
Number 4, I saw some people saying that this should be number 1, which I can kind of understand. A Tribe Called Quest. Rest in peace.
I wouldn't agree with that. RP Fight. I wouldn't agree with that. I'm cool with them being in the top 10.
Yeah. I can also understand how some people can see them higher, but 44 is cool. Based on everything you said, now I see why NWA is number 3. Or you could say number 2, but me personally, they find it number 3.
Okay. Me personally, they should have been number 1, but I get why they're not. I know exactly why they're not. But these lists make sense. This list makes sense. The top 3 makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. NWA is one of the most influential groups of all times, and they branched off and had 2 of the pioneers in the game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. Number 2. The Wu.
Number 2 is what we need more of nowadays. Shout out to those that is continue that type of style.
The Wu.
Forget what all these other people say that shit sound old or get with this, get with that. Keep doing you. Whatever type of style you're making, keep doing you, but make sure that shit sound you, not like someone else. Like the Wu-Tang Clan is the reason why niggas probably call me weird because hip hop is what got me into wanting to do different shit. Wu-Tang Clan, Far Side, Boot Camp Click, which isn't on here. Like, and keep in mind, Boot Camp Click got like 3 groups. You mentioned a couple groups from No Limit. Like, No Limit ain't on here at all. That's crazy. Boot Camp Click not on here at all. That's crazy.
They ain't listen to that type of stuff. They discriminated. But yeah, it's so many people that like the Wu. Like, it's a lot of Wu fans. I honestly, I never been a Wu fan like that. I listen to it. I like the Wu. I never been a Wu hater. Bro, I never been a fan. I'm never one of the person that was like listening to all of the people in the groups.
So classic though, bro. When I was playing that shit in high school,
when Killer Army and them came out, I had the Killer Army album.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best
stuff. But you know, they had a lot of members. It's certain members of the Wu who I've never heard rap before. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
but that's also how That's how some people see No Limit too. So yeah, maybe the Wu represent like those type of eras or those type of groups, but still like.
But no, it's a hip hop and it's
timeless music.
It's a big group and it's they ushered in. They had like their own whole culture of just people who wanted to be Chinese, people who was doing karate, like people like it's all type of like the weirdos, the nerds, the hood people, like all blended in through the Wu-Tang Clan. Like everybody blended in through the Wu-Tang Clan, whether you was like a nerd, a smart person, you was a hood person, like everybody blended in. So like it makes sense where they're at. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you're right then. Everybody blended in with number 2.
White people like them.
The outcast. The real goats. The South got something to say. Shout out to Campbellton Road. Shout out
I don't know that it's listen.
Mountain.
They gotta be the greatest group of all time from a Billboard perspective. As much as I wanna say Big Boy carried them and Andre just sung the hooks, I can't. I love, you know what I'm saying? I like Outkast. I listen to Outkast. I'm an Outkast fan. I like Outkast. I like the music. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you want to speak from a Billboard perspective, that's why some people say NWA could be number 1. Some people could say Run DMC could be number 1. I'm happy that you agree with Outkast being number 1.
I don't. I agree with Outkast being number 1, but I want to revert to number 10 for the same thing that I said. The way people feel about Andre helped this pick, but really it's just how many records they sold and how much they charted and their songs roll. You know what I'm saying? Their songs are really successful on the Billboard. So it's impossible not to put them there if Billboard made the list. When that's their most successful group, then they're making a list. Like, how can't they be number 1? So as much as I want to just hate on Andre, I can't. It's no reason. When Big Boy's there.
When Big Boy is there. And even
Big Boy is there too.
Stop playing with the Love Below, bro.
I know and that album is a pop album.
And they could tell you. And the last song was hip hop though.
Outkast was influenced by Solo Andre 3000 was influenced by Bone. He's a singer.
Outkast's first album had a lot of that too. Not the same way as Bone. You act like Bone were the only singing rappers ever.
I'm not acting like that. I'm just saying that they influenced the style. I'm just saying. I never said that. Too. You said who?
Everywhere I kicked in, everywhere. Snoop was doing that too. It wasn't just Bone.
Snoop was doing it. Snoop was doing it. Snoop was doing it in his own little Snoop way. But that was also just like West Coast. They had their own little vibe. But I'm talking about the way Bone did it.
But that's not the way Andre do it. And Big Boy did the same shit too. I mean, shoot, the first single, Sleepy Brown singing on the hook.
I'm not mad at that.
They shit different. They just always been different.
So if you had to if you had to switch this list around, you wouldn't switch anything around?
Honestly,
stay the way it is.
I'm actually fine with 1 to 10. This is why I said I like this better than the rapper list. The top 10 rapper list is trash. I don't mind.
It's Billboard.
Billboard actually did their thing in these top 10. Even if you think some other groups are better than these, Outkast, Wu-Tang Clan, NWA, A Tribe Called Quest, Run DMC, Public Enemy, Arabian Rakim, Salt and Pepper, De La Soul, The Roots. Like, to me, this makes sense. We could debate 11 to 50, but this makes sense.
It makes sense. I don't, you know, I ain't argue too much about it. I just said it was recency. I didn't even say I was mad about it. I just said it was recency bias how he got there. I didn't say I
But
did probably say they could have been lower, but I wasn't like mad about it.
this is actually now we went back. I actually don't mind the 1 to 10 here. Like let's go to the 1 to 10 of the rapper list real quick. Because let me pull that up. Real quick. Actually, yeah, because I got it here too. On Billboard. I'm trying to go all the way down to the 10. Forget 11 to 50 of the rapper list. I only want to focus on the top 10.
That's why I asked you, did you want to do it? I could have pulled it up.
Nah, don't even worry about that. We good here. Because Andre 3000 was number 11, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yep. Number 10, and 11 was Kanye. Andre was 12. So above Kanye and Andre, this is the top 10. Number 10 is Nicki Minaj. Number 9 is Snoop Dogg. Number 8 is Drake. Number 7, Lil Wayne. Number 6, Notorious B.I.G. Number 5, and I'm sorry for the speed. So trash is slowing up the Wi-Fi. Number 5, Eminem. Number 4, Tupac. Number 3, Nas. Number 2, Kendrick. Number 1, Jay. I'm not saying these rappers ain't whack, but this 10 don't make sense to me.
I ain't gonna lie. Kendrick at number 2 all time is nasty work, yo. That's just nasty work. I don't like how that sounds. And I'm a fan of Kendrick, but just putting him at number 2 all time, like damn.
I like Kendrick.
That great.
He 11 to 20 to me.
I like Kendrick, but that great. Like
above guys at that. Tupac
above Wayne shit.
Number 1 here. I'm surprised Tupac is not at number 1. Honestly, the only reason why Eminem is on here, you know what? I'm not even going to go to that reason because you're going to have people say I'm hating. Number 6, Biggie. But a lot of young people going to debate his bars, though. Number 7, Wayne. Now, you said earlier that he inspired a lot of whack rappers.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to use that as a reason why he shouldn't be on here, then hey, I can't hate. I
don't know if it's even his fault. Listen, he just has to take an L for it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's his fault. It is not his fault that people couldn't measure up to him.
The top 10.
But he has to take the L for it. I blame him.
The top 10 rappers look more Billboard-ish than the top 10 rap groups. Like this looks more about hip hop. This looks more about hip hop than Billboard. Outkast, Wu-Tang Clan, NWA, A Tribe Called Quest, Run DMC, Public Enemy, Eric B. and Rakim, Salt and Pepper, De La Soul, The Roots.
I think I could prove you wrong, though. Everyone should be researching these groups. I think I can prove you wrong. There are
groups that sold more than these.
No, it ain't about selling. It's about charting. It's about your songs being on the radio or you having like that hit that's been on Billboard for a long time, like a couple weeks. Like the Roots didn't sell a bunch of They didn't go triple platinum and all that shit. But what they do was on the charts for 15 weeks. They had a 30-week run. You know what I'm saying? That's a big ass deal. That's almost a year. That's over half of a year. Your song was on the Billboard charts.
Yeah, but
and then they had, you know what I'm saying? You got me. So like we looking at it from like, yeah, real hip hop shit. But no, it ain't just that. They got songs. They got shit that was on the charts.
So you're saying that the Roots have better charts than who's number 11? Migos?
Listen, I just looked it up. I told you they had 2 songs that was on the charts for 15 weeks. What they do, and you got me, both was on the charts for over 30 weeks, and then they had 15. I'm about to look it back up. I just looked it up. Like, that's a big deal.
But if you're looking at that as the reason why they on here, then I can't debate that.
I'm not saying that that's the reason. That is. I'm not saying it like that's the only reason that they on there. I'm saying that Billboard is looking at that as a factor. It's also how they personally feel about them and a lot of stuff. But what I'm saying is that's a factor.
So let me ask you this question then. Go to number 41 and see what they say about Little Brother and see what they say as far as like the charts behind Little Brother. I'm curious what they say behind that.
I didn't even see it.
That's what I'm saying. Because I don't see how this is about charts when it's coming
not
to the
all. Listen. It's not all about charts, but I'm saying with these people, it makes sense. The charts line up with why they're there. With these people right here, it lines up with all of them. If we look it up, it's like, okay, they had that for that long. Oh, they had that for that long. Oh, they had that for that long. And then some of them, it doesn't even you know what you're doing. Outcasts, we would have to look it up. You know what I'm saying? Certain people you already know. So that's what I'm saying. All these people had tracks that make them be there.
Okay.
And it's also, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense off some real hip hop shit. I'm not saying I think you're right. I agree with you that the top the rapper one sounds like just straight up album sale-y.
All right. But between
Like
this,
they respect Weeks.
probably like the rapper list more though. But I didn't really like that top 10 rapper list for Billboard at all. But I like this one. Just everything after 11 from Migos on. We'll debate all that another time. You got those other clips up?
Yeah, I got some clips. Me, myself, and I was on the chart 17 weeks. That's a big deal. Like once you get that many weeks, 17 weeks is a long time. And your shit's on the charts.
So what do you see for Little Brother?
Let me go straight to Billboard and just type it in. Because it ain't coming up.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm telling you that I didn't say that they were 100% going off that. I said it makes sense for these top 10. And it makes sense. It probably... let me look. Knife Wonder.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Knife one of the most successful records are actually outside the group, but the most memorable music is the Little Brother shit, of course.
No, but they might have gave him that solo. It don't even really show up. It ain't popping up even like.
So could they?
Weird. I had to look it up anyway.
Knife one a success then? If you want to look at it like that, I guess.
Maybe.
But
also, like you said, it's still human beings. It's people like you that like them. People like them. It ain't like they just some nobodies that nobody knows, underground group. Like people like them, so they put them in there. Like, yo, what about Little Brother? And then they're like, right, let's put them in there. At the end of the day, they're making the list.
See what Billboard's the Dog Pound has.
They probably got that shit doesn't even pop up. When it don't pop up for people, that's weird. Because for most people, it do. That mean you ain't on there when it don't pop up for you.
Shout out to Dr. Real TV.
Yeah, that's weird. That shit don't even pop up. That's weird. I'm about to go straight to the website.
You still gonna research this? Cause I don't care. If you write about like these stats that they have with Billboard, then I guess. But it's still an odd list though. As we pass number 10, there's people saying that Migos should be higher. That makes it more hilarious.
Because them niggas on drugs. They
like niggas don't respect the roots if people think Migos should be higher. I don't care where you from. Up north, down south, in the US, outside the US, like remember I did that Eminem versus Black Thought video? That white boy said that Beanie Siegel is better than Black Thought. I've seen some others say that too. I don't see how, unless you're saying because The Truth is a 5 mic album, even though The Becoming and The Reason are better. But even at those, compared to The Roots, forget the Black Thought albums. Because Cheat Codes is now better than anything Beanie Siegel put out. And I stand on that. But let's get to the Roots albums. Do you want more? Before that, Organics, like yeah, if I'm not mistaken, keep in mind I'm high, so if I skip any albums, my bad. I might just stop at a certain point because I don't want to look it up. But Organics, Do You Want More? Illadelph Half-Life, one of the hardest and most likely the most underrated album. Even though the album has been rated high, I feel like that album should be rated higher as a hip-hop group. It just so happens that Things Fall Apart got nominated.
Hold up, you said what now? I was reading what they said about Lil Brother, and it's kind of interesting too. What you say?
No. I want to hear what you say about Lil Brother. I was just saying random stuff about the Roots, but what were you saying about the Lil Brother?
Okay, no, right. They really, a lot of this, this paragraph is a lot about Ninth because they talked about there was a group, and then they're like, oh, in 2003 he had to break out, stand out with Threats. Then it's like the solo albums, and then he left the group. We got back together, so like they really talking about Ninth Wonder through like the whole bottom half of the whole thing. So like a lot of it has to do with him.
Did you just say that it said that they got back together? Or did they do a show? Okay, I was about to say like Billboard is bugging. You just proved the point. I was like, what?
Nah, I was reading so fast that I'm like, because I was reading it fast, so it's like
Let's said Ninth on the albums though. The albums
it said Ninth left the group before the third album, Get Back.
Yeah, even though he did the song with Lil Wayne, "Breaking My Heart," that was the only song he produced on that album. After that,
so as I'm skimming through it, I'm like, he left the group, they got back together. Like I'm just seeing Get Back. I left and Get Back, and I'm like, but nah, right. But yeah, that's kind of why he got on there though. That's kind of why.
Bone over the Roots?
You said who?
Would you put Bone over the Roots?
Nah, probably not. Nah.
Okay, just curious. All right, I'm ready to hear this video you got, bro. I probably seen another one she did already. She hilarious to me.
This lady is a nutcase.
It's a nutcase, but it's still great though, because it's like you can tell she tomboyed out. But I swore if that's her in that video, yeah, if she's saying that's what they meant by try to make her more feminine, like I'm like, damn, that was right. Like you cute regardless. You just want to talk like a nigga, and you could tell that she talks just like that one dude that be on that pimp shit.
I changed my mind. And I feel like I was tripping.
What do you mean?
Yes, I'm putting Bone over the Roots. Yes. Especially from a Billboard perspective, because they got a lot of songs on here, and they got a number one. And they got a number one. That's different than the Roots. The Roots don't have a number one. Bone has a number one, and it was number one for 8 weeks.
Based on charts.
Huh?
This isn't necessarily based on charts.
It ain't all based on charts.
Yeah, I said that. Bone shouldn't be over the Roots because of what you just said.
If we were just going off that, if the same people who did the rapper list did this one, Bone would have been in the top 3.
That's why that rapper was trash. You just proved that the rapper list was worse. Thank you.
We said that. We agreed on that. I said that. You said it first. You said it. You said it was trash.
You just said Bone should be number 3. Bro.
I'm saying I did not say that. I said if the people who did that rapper list would have did it, they'd be 3. That's what I said.
But they're still
I'm going just off their Billboard success alone. They got a number one hit. A lot of these people in these groups don't have a number one hit. Like a lot of them don't.
And you're proving my point. Okay, cool. Because this is why this is more fire. That's why
it's some bias in there though. That's my whole point.
Really?
Like a lot of people didn't get rated where they were supposed to. That's why people was mad about Bone and the Locks. People were mad about Bone.
People are mad about a lot of stuff on here. Doesn't necessarily mean they were right. Now,
but they were right about Bone.
City Girls shouldn't be on here? And if your answer is yes, tell me how City Girls is better than Sukiyana. Sukiyana is better than City Girls.
Because
you should not be on here if you're not better than Sukiyana.
But Suki's just a person and they're a group.
I know.
And there's not a lot of groups.
To that person who ain't even a real rapper, that makes you more of a reason you shouldn't be on there.
Yo, like these niggas in the top 10 for a long time.
City Girls make sense.
These niggas
not on here don't make sense.
Their Billboard resume probably better than anybody you could pull up. This is nuts.
The Beat Nuts, Dog Pound, Boot Camp Click.
This is nuts how long their music was on the radio.
Who?
Bone. And how many songs? They got a lot of. Well, it's only 9 songs. It just doesn't. It looks like a lot because the other people that I typed up didn't have 9 songs, but it looks like a lot. But then all of the songs, like 20 weeks. So I was saying 15 is. I said 17 was a lot. They got 6 different songs that was on the charts for 20 weeks. And 18 weeks.
Number 21 or 22?
21.
21.
And they got a number 1 hit. That was a number 1 for 8 weeks.
It's just hard to put.
Like this song was number 1 for 2 months. Like, come on now.
Ghetto Boys. Ghetto Boy Gangsta. All right, that's what's up with this. Everybody tell us what you think. Whether you like this video, love this video, comment this video, even if you don't give a fuck about this video. Thank you for watching. Shout out to Doug. We're going to agree all the time, but you know it's all respect too. You know what I'm saying?
I want to kind of stop the broadcast and probably do another one. Stop.
Oh, you about to do one by yourself?
No.